against Cyan. Was Cyan on the team before?
That's a good question. Was he on the team
Swear
before?
he was on a different team.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Are we crazy?
I can work it out. Yes, but that's irrelevant.
He recently joined the team. He was on Little Fairy before that.
There we go. So it looks like he joined, must have been only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, fun fact, the rule for WTL is that if you do join a new WTL team, there is a 2-week cooldown period after you officially join where you cannot play for the team in WTL until after those first 2 weeks. Like it's a way to stop like player trading and stuff like that. So there we go. Cyan is going to be coming out for the Starving Camels, but our first matchup of the night between Shopify Rebellion and that team is of course Scarlett versus Cyan.
Okay, so this should be very interesting. I mean, Scarlett has always been a bit of a fan favorite here, and she is a very strong player in her own right. Probably the strongest, alongside Neeb, the strongest player that NA has ever really produced. But she's going to be going up against Cyan, and Cyan is a Protoss.
What more is there to say? Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an interesting one because Scarlett, of course, infamously has things to say about certain races and certain matchups, and we'll see if that is applicable here. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, we're diving right into Game 1 on Near Humanity. It is Scarlett.
And in at the bottom right-hand corner, nearly full, the Starving Camels. This is Cyan.
As we get into game number 1 of this matchup, of this Team League match, I want to give a massive shout out to Blake Adu's in the chat. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. We missed it before the break, but thank you so much. Oh, we appreciate it, Papi. We appreciate it.
Glad she's doing the build. It's the
15.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, let's go, Papi. We have
14 hatch 15 pool. It wasn't that came out with this build? Was it? Is it? It's 15, right? I mean,
it was a 15 hatch and a 15 pool. 15. We delay the Overlord to make that happen, and how dare you say Eric, Papi? Eric.
Oh yeah,
hi.
Eric. Yeah.
My God.
That's neck of the woods. Not quite. Last time. We're close.
Yeah, a Latin American Zerg player, a duckling, Papi, a duckling. How dare you? So
well, I was thinking through Zergs, and I was like, well, I don't think it's Cham, but it's not X. Then I got stuck.
Is it Jaime? Is it Jim Rising? Maybe. Oh my God. Regardless, yeah, we do have a bit of a different opener here from Scarlett. This is quite common on Near Humanity specifically because of the shorter rush distance, because it does mean you do get your natural base up and running without being disturbed by that probe.
You do, and I think you get a little bit of a faster speed as well, if I'm not wrong, but and an extra queen. I don't know. I remember Pig has been looking into this build a lot, and I'm not surprised to see Scarlett using it as well, just because I know they talk a lot of strategy, and Scarlett's always interested in trying kind of the newest and latest stuff. I think she is one of those players that if there is a new strategy that people are working on, she's probably going to be one of the first to be on top of that and be working out if it's good or not. She's just a very clever player, good mind for the game, and I think she can kind of evaluate things like this very well.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and she has been actually doing this build on this map in the weeklies as well, in ESL, Open Cup Americas, Asia, in KSL, wherever she can, and she's been having some pretty good success with it. Recently, this last week, she even 2-0'd Trigger in ESL Open Cup Americas, so it's been really cool to see her looking in form, especially coming into the week of ESL Masters as well. But is it going to be enough to bring down someone of the likes of Cyan, a player who is not very used to her region of play?
Yeah, I think this is not going to phase Cyan too much, as we do see him just opening pretty standard here with the Oracle into the second gate, so nothing too surprising coming out from him yet. And I do think that Cyan, of some of the Chinese Protosses, does have a style that does tend to be a little closer to the rest of the world.
Yeah, 100%, especially compared to some of the other players like your Rewhites, like your Jollywood Loves as well. So here we go, the Oracle does dip in, just gets a single drone kill for the time being. And as you were saying, nothing too fancy. We have a second Oracle coming up behind this, but before it shows up, the Lings are getting a nice surround here. The Adept doesn't get in between the pylon.
Yeah, this is a very fast, aggressive timing coming out from Scarlett. She will be putting some pressure on that second Adept as well. Cyan forced to activate the energy on both Oracles, but she can just wait that out and come back in. And he's actually really short on defensive resources now.
Yeah, the energy has run out. Do we have another Adept? It looks like we do have 2 more Adepts. Cyan will hold on to his third base. But as you were saying, this does force the Oracles to stay at home, so there has been some inadvertent damage dealt to Cyan.
Yeah, and with that, Scarlett going to be poking out towards that front as well. It does say that everything is, ship shape, tucked away, will be fine here. Forcing out those extra warp-ins of that Adept is definitely pretty nice for her. But behind that, just going to be going into a bit more of a standard game, getting that fast +1, which has been the meta style against the hero style, the Stalker Oracle, for quite a while now.
Yeah, outside of the initial opener, this follow-up from Scarlett is very standard, getting into that faster Evo chamber, going into +1 melee to help support her Lings, eventually into +2 melee, and we're going to be going for a Ling Bane heavy style. This is something that Scarlett has been playing around with. She's going to be relying a little bit less on Roach Ravager. This can be a risky way to play, especially in the early game, because the Adepts are here looking to deal some damage.
Yeah, they're just going to be putting on pressure. Already getting 5 drones, so that's some very solid damage. The Queen's going to be blocking those Adepts in, so could be able to take those out eventually, but the Oracle's coming in after. Good focus fire from the Queens. 1 Oracle going to be going down, all the Adepts as well, but 9 drones in total. Nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, the Queens were working against the Lings there for Scarlett. They were just kind of in the way, providing some extra surface area to be made use of for Cyan, so it took a little bit longer to deal with those Adepts. So nice damage nonetheless, but now the Lings are moving out from across the map.
Yeah, Scarlett continuing to just poke around, but this is a pretty easy map to close off your bases with. We do see everything looking pretty well locked up. She's just going to be going for transferring probes for the moment, as Cyan continuing to send in these non-glaive Adepts for harass. It's a little bit stylistic, a little bit unusual, but it's working out very well for him.
Yeah, the glaive-less Adepts still pack a massive punch. They can still kill units or kill drones quite quickly. Another 5 drones go down. At the same time, Scarlett does catch a couple of these transferring workers as well. 4 probes will fall. But Scarlett's drone count isn't where she would like it to be, so she's going to have to back off, and as she backs off, she double expands.
Yeah, generally at this point, as the Zerg, you would have expected to get ahead from here a little bit, but she's going to be able to take this front base, does get that rich gas, gets the creep coming out quite nicely as well, so not in a terrible spot, as we do see that robo transition coming out from Cyan.
Oh, we even see Cyan making a Phoenix. Most likely only a single Phoenix to clear out Overlords, but we'll see if he does commit even further to that. Meanwhile, from the Robo, he's got options. If he's up against a more Ling-heavy style, Colossi are amazing. If it's more Roach Ravager, then we want to be seeing Disruptors instead. Before that happens, though, Cyan is moving out with quite an interesting army.
Yeah, we have seen this Phoenix come out from Hero quite a bit. I think in this case, it's probably just going to clear the way for that Prism to maybe find somewhere to warp in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I imagine so as well. Cyan is pushing down the left-hand side. Massive stasis trap is going to be going off on those Lings.
Ooh.
Otherwise, he would have been surrounded, so a great stasis there from Cyan.
Yeah, nice force fields as well, but the Link's going to be able to get on out of there, and Scarlett might be able to time it with that force field finish, with that stasis trap finishing up, sorry, but Cyan doing a really good job just being active on the map, and the 4 Oracles is pretty fearsome as well. It makes it very hard to jump on these Stalkers.
The polar opposite of nice here, he even overmakes some of those Oracles, and they again provide such so they are such a useful tool here against the Zerg. We do have that Roach Horn, and a couple of Roaches were produced, but not too many of them, because Scarlett is more concerned with teching. The Infestation Pit is on the way, and every single Roach has morphed into a Ravager.
Yeah, we had the solid snake box there move over a little bit as well. I don't think I've ever seen it move.
Yeah, he's just creeping on over there, looking to not get. I haven't played Metal Gear Solid, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Sneaking. You have to sneak. This is a sneak mission.
Oh.
If you run into enemies, you will be forced to use CQC.
Beautiful puppies. Oh, we did have a bit of a miss rally, but yo, Cyan, he does go for the recall, does save his Disruptor.
Yeah, he sees it in time, and Scarlett just going to be clearing out these rocks. We do have the rocks broken through the middle that just does kind of limit the paths that Cyan can be attacked from here, as we do see him teching into DTs, and this is so interesting. I feel like we don't see mid to late game DTs in PvP that much.
We really don't, so it's a very odd choice here from Cyan, maybe getting ready for the late game, because Blink DTs can do quite well in the late game, similarly to how they do against Terran, but we'll see if we get there, as we do have a Lings threatening that right-hand side. We have Banelings being morphed in as well, potentially 4 more run-bys.
Yeah, good amount of Banelings being warped in. We do have the Hive and the Spire behind this. I wonder if there's going to be a Broodlord timing here. It's something we've seen on this map versus Terran. I'm not sure if I've seen it versus Protoss, but that could be really interesting.
Oh my god, but before that happens, the Banelings are rolling into Nationals. Reaction!
Yeah, that unit just wasn't hold position properly, and Scarlett actually able to shove her way through there. 20 probes going down. My goodness, that's terrible damage there. Really tough there for Cyan, and these force fields actually kind of sectioning him off from defending his own base here, but nothing gonna fall under that shield battery.
Yeah, the force field's working well for Scarlett. Nice last second splits as well, avoiding the majority of the damage from those Novas, so Scarlett's able to trade quite well, but she hasn't broken a base yet. That's one of the big features here of Neo Humanity. She hasn't been able to break through. She does have a greater Spire on the way behind this.
Yeah, so it is in fact going to be that Broodlord timing, taking advantage of just how short this map is, especially by air. A few of these Banelings going to get focused down by the Oracle, so they are just continuing to find value there. Some really nice biles coming out from Scarlett, but not quite going to be able to get the job done here, but she is looking to be really aggressive. Forces a big warp in here by Cyan, and oh, this is not really working out too well for her, but the Banelings getting on top of everything.
Yeah, the Banelings, they don't detonate with the mineral line, but they do detonate with the Stalkers. Not the best trade, but a good trade nonetheless that she can afford. As Cyan holds and gets his 4th base up and running.
Yeah, I didn't really notice it, but Scarlett's on 98 drones. She can do this all day.
Oh yeah, exactly. She has droned up heavily here into almost 100 drones, and that is why she's been aggressive as she has been. She is looking to just trade as often as possible.
Yeah, so it looks like the Broodlord switch not going to be more like a Tex rush necessarily. Might be something more like a contingency plan here, where you can just try to see how much damage she can get in this high eco situation, and then once that kind of loses its timing, once that moment ends, she'll be able to go into this nasty Broodlord switch.
Yeah, it is a risky way to play. Like, if one fight doesn't go your way, and if Cyan ever gets momentum, then again, Scarlett isn't going to have the biggest or the most amount of supply to remax on. So it can be a risky way to play, but regardless, she's playing quite well, and she has been forcing Cyan to stay back at home.
Yeah, but I think she's actually ahead of that. She is making so many spines. I think she has 13 spines here, so she's slowly just going to turn this economic advantage into static defense, into extra bases and all these different things, and naturally just get that drone count lower and lower and lower before she makes that Broodlord switch. And I think this is just a brilliantly crafted game plan here.
100%. It is executed so well here by Scarlett, so methodical, so well planned, but she has to be careful. She doesn't want to throw away too much of her Ravagers as she is transitioning into that greater Spire. Broodlords are already on the way.
Yeah, Disruptors are baited out. Would-be 5th base going to be going down here without losing too many Banelings. We do have a lot of Disruptors. We have a lot of Archons here. Cyan looking to be a bit aggressive, but he is going to be hitting quite the brick wall with these spines.
Not just the spines, those 7 Broodlords are waiting in the middle of the map. They haven't been scouted yet, by the way. Cyan, he does have a fleet beacon. He has +1 air attack on the way. He's getting ready to transition to Sky Toss. He doesn't know that he's already being beaten there. Like, Scarlett is already on her way. She's already got her anti-Sky Toss army almost ready.
No, he must have seen the Broodlords. He's making Tempests. There's no shot he would do that without having seen Broodlords, or at least knowing about the tech.
I hope so. Oh, and there we go. The Broodlords are about to reveal themselves, at least against these Zealots. I think maybe they got in range. It's hard to say here, as we do see Cyan poking and prodding wherever he can. The first couple of Tempests are on the horizon, as you were saying, but only 2 for the time being. Only 2.
Yeah, only two. Scarlett just continuing to make Broodlords here, going into the Passage and Glance for the Infestors as well. So we will have Infestor support for that eventually. That's going to definitely help, especially if Cyan wants to go into High Templar or anything like that. Any key units like that can be fungled, but for now, Scarlett is going to be, slowly and methodically trading off little bits of her army, replacing that with Broodlords, replacing drones with Spines and Spores, and getting herself into the perfect late game situation.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be once again a slow kind of transition out of this, or a transition into more Infestors, more Vipers as well, more of those Spellcasters. And here we go. Cyan is committing to a push, and Scarlett can collapse in.
Yeah, nice micro. They're going to be dodging out that Nova for the most part here, taking down these Stalkers. I don't think Cyan's going to mind too much trading those out, as we do see here is just checking further and further, recognizing the situation, going into Tectonic, getting Blink for the DTs as well, as you were talking about earlier, and just doing what he can to start chipping away at these Spines.
Oh, exactly. But before that happens, we have some cheeky biles being thrown out by Scarlett as well, trying to work on that Tempest count. The scary thing as well, I did just realize, is that Scarlett has been morphing in the majority, if not all of her Corruptors into Broodlords, so she doesn't have the most ideal army for Skytoss yet.
Yeah, not just that, but there we go. The Infestors are out. Definitely got to be careful not to lose the Infestors. Two Disruptors, two of them going to go down there, so that is pretty unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, good trades for Cyan, as again, we have to get rid of these Disruptors at some point. Void Rays are now being produced. He's going fully into that Skytoss and trading quite efficiently here against Scarlett.
Yeah, this is a really interesting spot where Scarlett would like to be sieging with these Broodlords, but the Tempests make it so that she's actually the one that wants to take a big fight all at once. And that's a little counterintuitive to the army she's making.
Yeah, I think, again, she didn't see the Skytoss transition coming, and she maybe overmade those Broodlords, but here we go, we're diving on forward. We get a massive fungal on those Tempests, or even another one, but there is no follow-up.
Yeah, huge fungal going to be tying them down, is pushing Cyan back, allowing those Broodlords to get their shots off as well. And I'm kind of curious. Scarlett doesn't have much supply at the moment. She's making 5 Corruptors, so she's getting a little bit further into that count, but that has been preempted by Void Rays. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for her to find a way to trade off this Ravager Lingbane slowly enough.
Yeah, I agree. And she has to desperately. It looks like she's going for a bit of a Ling run by on the left-hand side. A massive Archon army is going to be threatening the right, and I love this from Cyan because he's kind of abusing how slow and immobile those Broodlords are, forcing Scarlett to make hard decisions to split off her army.
Yeah, definitely. As we do see Scarlett getting a cancel on this base at the bottom left, does trade out those links as well, but at the same time, Cyan going to be doing something similar here. The Archons will eventually go down, but not before taking out 13 drones, and there's a few more getting sent into their death now.
Yeah, exactly. And now these Broodlords are being forced out of position, and that is going to be the signal here for Cyan to push out across the map. He's going to be clearing up a lot of this creep, a lot of the stack defense as well. But we do have a decent Corruptor count. I don't think we've seen it on camera yet, so I don't really know how many we have to work with.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to help it, man. I feel like we're going to need a lot to be able to deal with those Void Rays.
Yeah, and we can see here that Corruptor count isn't looking too high, but neither is the Skytoss army. So, a good balance is what we're looking for. We've got a couple of those Ultras on the way. We have Neural being produced here as well by Scarlett that will help provide those Infestors with some more utility.
Yeah, Neural could be huge, as we do to see a few Bailings being traded out here. Scarlett actually going to be replacing those with a few things. We even have an Ultra. I'm not really sure where that came from.
Just a little bit of everything coming out here from Scarlett. The other important thing to take note of, and I know she's famously said this before when it comes to Sky Zerg, is we kind of want to wait for 3-3. +3 attack is on the way. +3 defense for the Broodlords are still a little bit of a ways off. The DTs are going for some run by, so no, there is plenty of stack defense.
Yeah, well prepared by Scarlett. Don't think DT is going to be able to find too much this game. Okay, here we go. We are going to be making a lot of spores. I think it's full late game time.
Yeah, Papi. Strap yourself in. But it's okay because it's near humanity, so we don't have that many bases available for our players, so a fight will be ensuing shortly. So. I'm sure, Papi, I'm sure we'll be seeing a clash of the armies. Don't worry.
This map is so weird. It's actually 8 bases on both sides.
It is. It is. It's crazy, but it's crazy.
That makes
Since
an animal.
the Void Ray is going to be finding a little bit of damage here on the right-hand side. More Stargates get thrown down as well, so Cyan can go into a much more committed transition into Skytoss.
Yeah, we just have a kind of nice even pace to this game at the moment where both players just making these small little pokes back and forth and trading off a few units here and there, not looking to fully commit. It does feel like it's all kind of building to this crescendo once that neural finishes, once 3-3 is all done, but for now they're just trying to get rid of each other's static defense. Really good run by with the Banes. 15 probes going to go down.
Slow reaction, late reaction out of Cyan there to pull away those workers, and he loses the mineral line. 15 probes going down. Great trades here from Scarlett. Great use of, again, not just getting rid of her Ling Bane, but also a couple of Roches here and there, and a couple of those Ravagers as well, as she continues to throw down more static defense as she gets her Spore Forest up and running.
One thing to point out as well, neither player has too big of a bank right now. I mean, Scarlett's definitely got a pretty decent bank, but I think one Remax Berserk is going to spend most of that. Cyan, on the other hand, very low on money as well, so I don't think either of them are going to be rushing to take a big fight here.
Yeah, at least Cyan isn't, right? It's like, as you were saying, he's only got 200 minerals to work with. He is maxed out, but he needs to build up that bank so he can rebuild after a fight, especially if it doesn't go his way. A Prism tries to slip into the main, but no, it is scouted by Scarlett.
Yeah, the Prism will go down. We see again this little Ling Bane Ravager Ultra run by Force. Fascinating.
Yeah, just trying to find a way in. So far, the defenses from Cyan are a little bit too good. The Void Ray does avoid the Biles in the end, but did I speak too soon?
Oh, they are going to be landing. None of them getting taken down, but that base to the bottom right hand, that Sim City with those cannons, that is a whole lot of no thank you. She is going to be staying away from that. And here we go. Cyan actually going to be pushing forward aggressively with the Tempest. They are going to be yoinked out, so I think this was a pretty bad move for Cyan here, as 4 Tempest getting taken out for very cheap by Scarlett. She was waiting for a mistake like that, and she pounces immediately. And
that was a slip up by Cyan. He overextended once, and he was punished heavily for it, and we cannot afford these mistakes here, as Cyan has to rebuild those Tempests, and there is going to be a window here where his army is going to be a little bit worse for wear. His entire army actually rotating over to the right-hand side.
Yeah, and he is going to be replacing with Tempests. This is why I find Tempests... I think they're really weird in this situation. We saw Nice doing it as well, and I think the main problem is they basically mean that you can hold your bases, but you can't really do too much else with them. As you can see, the army looks really bad when it's away from cannon battery, and it looks really good when it's behind cannon battery.
Yeah, those Tempests, they require support. That's the thing, right? Like, they need those shield batteries and cannons to support them from the ground to really have any staying power. Without them, the army looks a little bit frail, looks a little bit fragile. So, yeah, because of that, it's going to be Cyan taking that defensive role. At the same time, another mineral line just went down in the bottom left-hand corner. We can see that reflect in the worker count here. Cyan lost so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a rough spot just because Scarlett is ahead on that bank and ahead, has been mining those extra bases for a little longer, is doing a really good job of making it awkward and annoying for Cyan to take extra bases himself. So I feel like he is the one that wants to be putting on pressure here, but it's just hard with this army. It's a very awkward army.
Yeah, it really is, and his Zealot Rumbai is doing some decent damage. Don't get us wrong, but I don't think we ever, either of us, really see a world where he can really push in. Like, he's in a way overmade Archons. Like, his army is mainly ground toss. Even I don't even think he has what, like 4 carriers, like 3 Tempests. No, not even. He's got 2 carriers and 4 Tempests. Like, it's a little bit haphazard.
Yeah, it doesn't feel the most synergistic, I think, is what you're getting at. But here we go. Scarlett going to be getting in on this base once again. Not going to be able to deny the base, but does pull the army out of position a little bit here. Not going to be pouncing with the main army, though. It looks like she has got a good idea of what the win conditions are here. I mean, she is, as we were saying before, a very clever, methodical player. And I think she understands the situation and what she needs to do here and won't do anything too adventurous otherwise.
I mean, I'm getting real ZVZ Dark vibes from this game from Scarlett. We saw it earlier. She kind of rushed into this tech quite quickly. You know, very early on, she was setting up her spine force. She was cutting the map in half. She was getting ready for this scenario. and Cyan wasn't. That's why Scarlett has gone into late game in such a good position with such an insane bank, with her more defensive style. She was like, come at me. And yeah, she's just done a great job at getting here, and she's just kind of pulling Cyan apart.
Yeah, I do like as well that she hasn't really committed too heavily for a main army fight, but looks like this is going to be the moment. Big Parabomb is going to be going down. The Broodlord's putting on so much pressure. The Ling Ultra here is going to be taking out the base, and this army, it can't go to help. It is being completely occupied by the main army fight. Big Storm going to be going down. The Corruptors are really hurt now.
Oh, they are really hurt, but you know what? They take down everything in the sky. They did their job, and these Broodlords have been going to town. The positioning was too damn good. We even have a neural on those Disruptors as well, as we turn the Protoss army against itself. The Blink Stalkers push on forward here, but I think they're still just... Well, actually, they may clean up the Broodlords.
Yeah, looks like the Broodlords are actually going to be going down. Scarlett's got Bank, though. She's got Corruptors as well. They can start to be turned into broods, and that's exactly what's going to be happening. 13 broods. We still have a few Corruptors left over to deal with the Void Rays as well, and Cyan, he does not really have the bank that he needs to rebuild this army.
Yes, Cyan's running out of money, and Scarlett has so much to work with right now. Cyan may have held on to his fresh mining base, but Scarlett remaxes, rebuilds with Corruptors, with Broodlords, with Ultras, with more Lings, and she's getting ready for the second wave.
Yeah, and this second wave is going to be that much more devastating. Cyan's army is so much lower quality than it was before. He's really struggling to get the resources together.
He really is. He prioritized a mothership. Minus 400, minus 400. You'd love to see it. We have a couple of DTs on the left-hand side as well, going for a bit of a run by only one Spine Crawler. So these DTs are going to find some damage. But again, Cyan hasn't been able to rebuild the Skytoss that he lost.
Yeah, we've got some Lings being split off with Scarlett. It's actually going to be Ultras going back to clean up the last of the DTs. And Cyan going to be pushing in here. I'm not sure if Scarlett's giving up this base or the Broodlords are just taking a while to get over there, but it will be going down either way.
Yeah, the base goes down, but we have so many Broodlords that the ground toss can't really gain any ground. Upon seeing all those Broodlords, Cyan has started up a couple of Tempests, but again, those are reactionary Tempests. They're not quite ready yet. They take a long time to produce, and as a result, Scarlett is still going to be quite active here, even forcing a recall towards the bottom left-hand corner of the map.
Yeah, these Ultras are so threatening. She's going to be backing on out of there with those, which does leave that right-hand base exposed. Instead, it looks like she's going to be looking to take a main army fight here to set up for this defense, and I think that does give Cyan a little bit more time here, but I mean, for what, as we do see Scarlett going to be shuffling that army, going to be rearranging it, and looking to hit that right-hand side potentially, or just take a massive fight.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like in the middle of the map, she's taking a better engagement as well with those Stalkers, at least looking at that mini-map. The Spine Forest has gone down. The Spore Forest is going to be going down behind that, but you know what? They were just buying time for the Broodlords. As the Broodlords are moving in, the Ultras go for a run-by.
Yeah, there we go. So Scarlett once again just doing a fantastic job bringing the army one way, hitting the other, just abusing how far away these edge bases are from each other. And oh wow, these Ultras have actually got so much damage on the Stalkers, but now that the Stalkers are set up and ready to micro, they'll be have to back out of here. I mean, Scarlett just feels like she's picking him apart right now.
It really does, as Cyan cannot max out. He's been trying to this entire time, but alas, he doesn't have the economy, he doesn't have the bank, he doesn't have the money right now, as Scarlett is repositioning. She's been having a hard time pushing off of creep with her Broodlord. She's been very careful with it, so because that, Cyan has some time, but he needs a lot of it.
Yeah, definitely, and now we're going to be having Ultras and Infestors poking on forward. Big fungal from the Infest is going to be holding these Stalkers down. As long as these Ultras can get on top of the Stalkers, they will go down so fast here.
Yeah, and the Banelings roll on in as well. They get into the middle line. Had a hard time getting in, but they get in nonetheless. And once again, another middle line is going to be going down. The most important one for Cyan.
Cyan is down to 33 probes, and he doesn't have a bank. And he doesn't have his army. He's just dead.
Yeah.
I don't know when this happened.
Yeah, he's been dead for a while, Papi. It's been a dead man walking, trying to stand up here to Scarlett. But Scarlett, again, she just did such a great job at taking into the late game, at getting out of this superior army. Cyan's going to try and force himself through the middle of the map. He's going for a bit of a Hail Mary play, but what can he do?
Yeah, Cyan knows that he's going to have to start making things happen here. He's going to have to get a little bit more risky, a little bit more aggressive if he wants to get himself back into this game. Doesn't necessarily need to go all in or anything like that, but he definitely needs to make something happen. And he's just being constantly pulled back by this Ling Ultra. I mean, the Ling Ultra has really just been the winner of this game. Scarlett has just constantly used her army to reposition him and open up damage here and there.
Yeah, it's really patient, right? Like, very rarely did we ever see the Broodlords be offensive units. They've just been being defensive for the most part, keeping up with the army of Cyan, making sure that he'd never found any ground, and just relying on these Ultras, Lings, and Banelings for run-bys. Once again, another 24 probes going down.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was meaning when I was saying that she knows her win conditions so well. Is she knows that all she has to do is just keep having these run-bys go again and again, and she will eventually starve out her opponent. She doesn't, have to be forcing any fights or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a death by 1,000 cuts. At a certain point, she's going to force Cyan to push into her instead. And we have a couple of Novas going off. Nice control there. We do reset the Infestor count at least. But there's still so much more. So many Broodlords, so many Corruptors.
Yeah, that was a really nice storm on the Corruptors, but I don't think there's enough to follow it up. GG is caught, and Scarlett with a very patient, very methodical game. Beautifully played.
Yeah, GG, well played, very technical as well. A lot to really learn from that. She was in almost full control the entire time, the entire game. And Cyan had moments, sure, but it felt almost as if he was like uncomfortable, or he was just, in a really weird spot where he was having a hard time refining his own army as well.
Yeah, he had an army that works really well if Scarlett ever pushed in, but it really feels like Scarlett just controlled the pace of the game from start to finish, and there was almost spawning in the bottom right-hand corner for the Shopify Rebellion. This is Scarlett.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner on Gressvan, representing the Starving Camels SSLT, it is Cyan. Yeah, he's wearing the black shirt as well.
You're right. He's a gamer. I mean, gamers are kind of like cartoon characters that just have their outfit that they wear. And,
true.
If it gets washed, it gets washed, but it's not too important.
Well, for some people, it's the outfit that you don't wear.
Oh, true. Who could that be?
As my theory, like based on my analysis of the as we reposition. I thought we were about to smudge, Puppy, but I don't think that jacket has a hoodie. Feels bad, man. But it looked the selfie. It looked as if Cyan had just come out of the shower, and here, or just woke up. Here, his hair is actually a lot more neater than on the photos. So he took the photo and then he combed his hair. Like he did the Uno reverse card.
So you think he should retake the photo?
Maybe.
Just message him after the game and be like, "Cyan, you're looking so hot right now. You got to take that photo again."
Yeah, to take the shirt off as well.
Yeah, just that. Maybe get some scissors and just cut down the middle of that shirt a little bit. Just open things up a little. Let him breathe, Puppy.
Let him breathe, Puppy. And you know what? Cyan was struggling to breathe in that last game, and part of it may be because of his outfit as well. It is. I mean, I appreciate it already, though. Like, it may not have a V-neck, but it looks like he's, like, forcing it, He's, like...
It is open, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the same attitude.
I love it. Give me more.
I kind of want to see if I can find a nice fleece jumper. Got like a blue one, I think 80s stuff is still popular, right? You got like a 80s looking fleece jumper.
Yeah, among certain circles, I'm sure. Yeah.
People that go outside.
Look, you think I know anything about fashion, mate?
You're like, mate, I don't think they were really into hoods back then, so I don't think that's a viable option.
True. Look at you pretending like you're gonna be going out. To be fair, you have been going outside more recently. To be fair.
Yeah, I haven't died yet, so we're gonna push the envelope and see if we can go out twice.
So we're gonna push the envelope until we finally do. We're looking for a puppy. We're
gonna like go until we get sick, and then we're gonna never leave again. Just like you.
Yeah, well, I never left it. Untrue. That was my
Yeah, you
mistake.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I got sick when I left the house one time. I'm never
Yeah.
doing that again.
100%, mate.
Unlucky.
100% sick rate. You know, you go outside, you get COVID. It's over.
Mate, don't go on buses. And I'm not putting you on my XCOM team. You're gonna be missing those 95% shots.
Well, I'm gonna be getting them every time, and by
That's
getting
true.
them, I mean
That's
I'm gonna be
possible.
receiving them. Like I'm just gonna. Look, someone's gonna soak up the shots, Pappy. Someone's gonna take one
true.
for the team. It's gonna be me.
Like, hit me with them. Put them all over me.
Hit me, Pappy. Hit me.
I can take it. I want it.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
gonna
like we've
be.
already done it. We've already played XCOM together. It's happened. It's
Yeah. We've taken all the necessary steps. It doesn't even have to exist. This is interesting coming out from Cyan. He actually went for his extra gates before his third base. Third base still going to be coming down at a relatively normal time, but I'm kind of wondering if this is going to be some very offbeat Glaives timing or something like that.
There it is. There it is, mate. So as you were saying, the gateways were prioritized. The third base was delayed. Is this something that Scarlett has recognized? Because this is something that has become very trendy recently as the Oracles are getting a lot of damage. But the trendy thing is going double Oracle, like Stargate Opener, into a really offbeat Glaive Adept push.
Okay, so double Oracle is a thing. I was wondering if this was like a thing because to me at least, it kind of seems so well hidden that it's bad. Like there comes a point where you can make your build so well hidden and so late that it's actually just going to be defended by normal play at that point.
Yeah.
And this feels like it's bordering on that, but I'll wait to see what happens. I'll suspend my disbelief.
I mean, a lot of this, especially because of the Oracle Opener, this relies on the Zerg player not making many units, right? It relies on them over-droning, on taking a fourth base, on delaying their roaches as well. So even if they have some lings, and they will have lings because they've been harassing, they're not really going to be able to hold a candle to the Glaive Adept. So we'll see what happens as these Oracles are flirting with fire right now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I can't tell if he's committing. Okay, here we go. He is going to be coming out across the map, but there we go. The link's going to be spotting that out. Does see that it's quite a lot more adepts than usual. It does look like it's caught Scarlett off guard. The Roach Warren is nowhere near finished. She could be in a lot of trouble here. The Queen's going to be doing their best to get a good amount of damage down, but as you were saying, Scarlett, she is caught completely off guard. I mean, if anyone's going to cut corners, it is Scarlett. She can be very vulnerable to these kind of builds.
Yeah, Firefly did this against Sham last week, and he absolutely killed him.
Yeah.
But here we go. We do have quite a lot of lings on the way. 28 more lings. We do commit to the shade here. We are getting surrounded, so Scarlett hasn't been losing too many drones yet.
Yeah, there is a surround. There are reinforcements, but actually these adepts are going down. This feels like it was a little bit mistimed by Cyan, and that's all of the pressure going. It was looking so good for him, but I think that just hasn't quite worked out. I mean, when we have a look at everything in the end, he's actually up on workers. Okay.
He is up on workers as Scarlett is trying desperately to re-drone again, though I feel like Cyan was looking for some more damage. I agree with you in the sense that shade towards the end was a little bit premature, and Cyan, he threw away a lot of those adepts, and now Scarlett has the map control. She has the freedom to rebuild because there's no Stalker push coming. You know, we're still waiting for Blink to even finish up.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Blink on +1 pretty close to finishing. I can kind of see the advantages of this build where the transitions are a little bit smoother, the economy's a bit healthier.
Oh yeah, it really is as the adepts do shade in, and 6 more drones going down. Those 2 adepts doing more economic damage than the Glaive push earlier. And now here we go. We have been banking up Stalkers across the map. The Oracles have survived from the early game as well, and Cyan is on the move.
Yeah, this is a really nice follow-up, and Scarlett, she is desperately trying to drone to get back those damage, the damage that she took, and now she's in a really awkward position. She droned all the way up to 87. She was so greedy here, and I mean, the intelligence, the cerebral nature of her play, as well as being what makes her so strong, can sometimes also be her downfall, where, you know, these moves that don't make sense to her, that she's not expecting, don't really get factored in.
Yeah, exactly. And now because of that Cyan, if Scarlett's able to survive this, then she will be in a phenomenal position. But she's going to be losing her 5th base. Stasis Trap goes off as well. These Stalkers
Oh.
won't be enough to end it, but they have done a lot.
Yeah, she actually spotted the stasis trap and went for that split, but didn't quite get that distances right. And so, unfortunately, she will still be taking that on those links. But Cyan just going to be regrouping, going to be moving around to the side here, trying to catch out this little run by. And he is going to do exactly that. Oh, that's really bad for Scarlett.
Oh, exactly. A lot of Lings going to be going down. We can't afford to lose these Lings, not in this position. Roaches are now on the way here, but she needs a little bit more time as that Stalker count has gotten quite high.
Yeah, I mean, Scarlett's economy is still pretty healthy, so the longer she can get away with this, the better. But losing that 5th, pretty nasty, and well, this is not going to be the greatest fight, but she just needs to push Cyan back. She just needs to buy herself more time. Great little Adept run by there with that Glaive that is so threatening.
It really is no mining whatsoever at the 4th base. Meanwhile, this Stalker army is being pounced upon. We have a couple of stage traps, but they are being taken out by those piles.
Yeah, quick reactions from Scarlett. Biles down both of those. The Adept going to be getting into this natural mineral line as well, but pretty quickly dealt with here. And Cyan, he is on the precipice of something, but he definitely has to be careful. If he loses his Stalkers, it all falls apart.
He really is playing on a knife's edge right now. The Stalkers are his lifeblood. He hasn't really teched up into anything else. He hasn't teched up into Disruptors, into Colossi. The Baneling run by even gets missed by Cyan.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of both see each other there briefly, but it depends whether they were looking. And okay, Cyan, he's going to be splitting off a few Stalkers here to deal with this.
There we go. Meanwhile, a Ling Runway is being caught out as well.
Oh,
Scarlett being a
no.
little bit wasteful in these last couple of moments.
Yeah, those oracles get really good value there, but they will be keeping those stalkers locked back. We do have the Ravager Bane Force coming in, just trying to see what damage they can get. These stalkers all rather battered and bruised, so if these things can get on top of them, they can start getting some kills.
Yeah, definitely. And again, for the most part, Scarlett has now stabilized. She's up to 91 workers. She has all of her bases up and running. She has maxed out. And Cyan is still only working with pure Stalker. He hasn't been able to refine his army.
Yeah, it's a really good point. He hasn't been able to find any splash, so this Ravager Baneling is pretty scary to deal with. I mean, he does have a good army. He can at least slow down Scarlett, and this is a great little run by here.
This is forcing a massive reaction out of Scarlett. Her army is turning all the way back around to deal with these Zealots, as a couple of Queens are going to be falling left and right. Eventually, this will be cleaned up, but this has bought a lot of time for Cyan.
Yeah, so very nice timing by Cyan. He has been as well relentless with these little run-bys to the north, whether it be to Adepts or a few Zealots here like this was. He's doing a really good job of just buying himself time to improve his army.
Yeah, he really has. And there we go. Storm is on the way. The Archon count is getting higher and higher. And now he will have a much more formidable force, but he needs a little bit of time here to really get that Storm going. Before that happens, oh, bold move. He is going to be moving out.
Yeah, it's going to be a DT Blink on the way as well, so seems like a stylistic preference of his, and this time it should be a bit more effective just because there's a lot less static defense, as we do see a little Ling run by being set up to the north here. While these two attacks are going to be coming in, that could get a lot of damage just because Cyan's going to be quite distracted microing his own army here.
Ooh, he really was. He eats a couple of blasts to the face at the same time. The Banelings get into a mineral line. 7 probes are going to be going down here at the 5th base of Cyan. And thankfully he doesn't lose too much army, but a little bit of his economy.
Yeah, a little bit of the economy going down, and it seems like both players are vying really hard to try to get the momentum on their side. Prism going to be going down, does drop off these two Zealots, but I think they won't be able to take out the Queen. Okay, yeah. And Zealots did not die.
Zealots barely don't get the Queen's. Nice transfuses there by Scarlett. At the same time, the Baneling run by doesn't run into the economy, but runs into a bunch of Zealots. So an efficient trade here by Scarlett once again.
So funny as a Terran watching Zealots versus Queens, because it's just like two units that in my head can't die, but it's like when they fight each other, one of them has to die.
There can only be one, and this time it was the Queen, of course. We do see, though, that Cyan again still flirting with the army of Scarlett. I'm not really feeling this right now. Here we go. The Bane's going to be rolling forward. Archons are being focused down.
Yeah, Archon's being focused down. It feels like Scarlett really does have a bit of momentum on her side, and she is handling the split maps, like the split army situation, a lot better than Cyan is.
Yeah, it really does feel that way. It feels like Cyan is falling apart at the seams, despite also now reaching that max out point. Another thing to bear in mind, he has now finished up Storm as well. Extended Thermal on the way. I don't know how many High Templar he has available. He's morphing in 4 of them now. That may be the first 4 to hit the field.
Extended thermal ants? That sounds so cool. Just imagining like lava ants with these giant like horns at the front.
Yeah.
And they like extend out like Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget, that's a throwback, Poppy. That's a throwback.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's go.
Did you see the live action one?
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I saw the TV show. Which one? The cartoon one?
The cartoon. Wait, there was a live action TV show?
Maybe I just imagined it.
Oh, good. As we do see the Archons on the top side of the map. Ooh, getting completely surrounded again. Cyan losing a little bit too much here, but he's focusing his attention on his main army. He's got those Colossi. Ooh. Where are the High Templar, though? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I mean, the army split for Scarlett is so good, and she's been controlling these fights on 2 sides really, really well. She kind of showed her strategy skills in the first game, and she's showing her mechanical skill in the second game.
She really is, as she's getting herself into Hive. We have those Vipers on the way to help deal with the Colossi. But I don't know if you noticed, it's your favorite. Some Stargates were thrown down. A Fleet Beacon has finished. Sky Toss, Papi. It's on the horizon. It's on the horizon.
Hey, I don't mind Sky Toss.
Oh, let's go. Cut the map in half.
Yeah, so there we go. We are going to be going into these late game options for both players. Feels like Scarlett still definitely has some more wiggle room to play with this army, especially if she can get on top of the Colossus, and she is going to be committing to the fight. The Bailing's rolling at the Colossus. We have a Prism there for the Micro, and just like that, the Bailing's all gone. But yeah, good damage on the Stalkers.
We don't get the Colossus, but we do clean up all the Archons with the main army. But at the same time, we have a massive Archon force here towards the northern portion of the map. At the same time, we have a Bathing run by, and even though we have a reaction, there's nowhere to go. The mineral line goes down.
This Archon run by is really weird.
It's doing a lot of damage, but it has to do damage because so many probes are full, and 26 probes have gone down here. And the Archons, I don't think there's a way home for them. I think they're going to get cleaned up.
Yeah, the Archons are going to be going down, but do we have an answer for the army to the bottom left? And are we going to be okay with losing this many bases as well? Scarlett's being forced into a really awkward position where I don't think she wanted to be in an all-in position. I don't think she wanted to be attacking, but she might have to.
She may have to, as we have a Zealot run by into the main base as well. This time the Prism will survive. The Queens were not around. We get a massive Zealot warp in into the main base, and Scarlett has to react. That wasn't just Zealots, that was DTs.
Yeah, and the DTs, they get on top of the Brood, on the top of the Greater Spire. The Greater Spire goes down with that +1 researching as well. So if she wasn't feeling all in, and now with that late game option taken away from her, it's going to be even more difficult. Oh, that Prism almost goes down, but it's not going to be. And it feels like Cyan, that last minute or two just went spectacularly for him. He really picked apart the defenses of Scarlett.
He really did. He killed the Greater Spire. He killed 2 hatcheries, killed a decent amount of drones as well. And now Scarlett is hurting right now. She's down in the workers. She's rebuilding her Spire. She does not have the tech to transition into the Broodlords. Meanwhile, we do see both Vipers getting focused down.
Yeah, Viper's going to be focused down. We do have the Yoings on the Colossus. Only one of them going to be going down. And so many Archons at the front. They are tanking. They are dishing out insane amounts of damage. We have a big warp in as well. Scarlett, I don't know if she's going to be able to hold this army. Cyan has actually dealt with this so well, and he's kept so much momentum on his side, where suddenly Scarlett is really going to struggle to hold on.
Scarlett doesn't have the larva. She's been losing too many of these hatcheries. She's been losing her queens as well. She doesn't have the larva to spend for money right now, and she is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, she just has to send it. She has to go for this fight, but she doesn't have the Vipers to deal with the Colossus. It was a bit of a Hail Mary there, trying to go for the Biles while he's not looking, but he was looking at the army there. He is going to be able to charge on forward. He is feeling victory at his fingertips, but he doesn't want to snatch at it because he is getting pushed back. I think with one more warp in though, that might just be it.
There we go. We get the Zealot warp in. We get the blink forward as well. GG is gonna be called as Cyan fights back and takes game number 2.
Oh, he's not happy with it, but he gets it done, and in pretty spectacular fashion. I think that was really well played by him. Just constantly trying to pick apart his opponent, and she was hanging on very well until she wasn't.
Yeah, we saw her just playing so well throughout that game. Maybe a little bit of a later transition into Hive, but that's because of the chaotic nature of the game itself. And we saw towards the end it just crumbling a little bit, losing too many hatcheries, and that massive warping into the main as well. Just a spectacular chain of events going Cyan's way at the end.
Yeah, really well played, and that Archon run by actually was money. That worked so well.
It really did. It really did. And with that, SSLT are fighting back here in this series. We have the tied up 1-1 score. And now this can still go either way. But there's a reason why Shopify Rebellion are the favorite team, because they've got some heavy hitters coming out.
Is it ByuN?
Oh. ByuN himself, Papi, is going to be coming out here in the second set, and he's going to be facing the Chinese Zerg, Silky.
Here we go. It is going to be ByuN coming out, and ByuN has been on fire lately.
He really has. He's been having just a clinical display of his TVP and his TVT as well. And oh,
B.
yeah, B for ByuN, Bobby. B for ByuN. Oh,
What the hell?
This doesn't make any sense. Aye. We've said it before. We'll say it again. The WTL organizers, with their ratings, have got something messed up, because ByuN is more than a B.
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, we had I think Q was an A as well, so
Yeah.
pretty wild. And ByuN's arguably the best Terran apart from Maru at the moment.
I would say that right now ByuN is at least an A. He's a solid A. On a good day, he's an S. I think the problem with S's is that he has to, put that form into results. He's gonna take a big championship or something like that to go his way. But regardless, he is on fire, and it's gonna be an uphill battle for Silky.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really tough match.
It really is. And I have to wonder, has Silky been theory crafting? Has he been trying to figure out the 2-racks openers of ByuN? Because ByuN has been doing nothing but 2-racks recently in TVZs.
Yeah. Ancient Cistern especially. I don't think I remember the last time I didn't see him do a low ground wall of Raxes on this map. Often into 3-racks Reaper as well, which ByuN's the only person doing that. And he's so good at it, and it still doesn't even look that good. So it's a pretty wild move to go for that, but I've seen him do it pretty consistently, and I would be not too surprised to see it here again.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him win with it more often than lose. I'll be honest. Like, it's been kind of crazy to see ByuN go up against the best Zergs in Korea and just dominate with this style. A style that, as you said, is very, very ByuN. Not many others, or if anyone, is doing it right now. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy how ByuN has found something that he likes, but he likes it.
Yeah, I mean, him and Maru both doing it, and I mean, there is also a lot of advantage. It's something that we always see with Maru as well. When you are doing builds that no one else is doing, and you're that good, it kind of doesn't matter if they fail, and it makes you insanely unpredictable and hard to play against.
Exactly. But to be fair, I think that's the difference between Maru and ByuN, is that Maru, he does do it, but like every now and then, like he sprinkles it into a series, whereas ByuN, he just does it every game. But I mean, kind of as you were saying before, he does have different variations of it, and here we go. We're diving into our second set of the night. In the top right hand corner for Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN.
And in the bottom left-hand corner for SSLT, it is Silky. There it is.
Oh, he's got the headband. Naruto, is that you?
Thought he looks like a sushi chef.
What does he say? I'm not gonna try. Never mind.
I
As
don't even know
once
what you're
again,
referring to.
Naruto, he's got his saying.
Oh,
Bayo.
gotta go fast.
You're an animal, Papi. You're an animal. What does Inspector Gadget say? Go, go, Gadget. Helicopter hat. Yeah, there we go.
Man, I can't. I think about that differently as an adult than I did as a kid.
Whoa, what? What does that mean? What
Well,
are
he
you
always
thinking?
had like very long extendo arms.
Uh-huh.
Big, long, and stretchy.
Oh.
Anyway.
His arms, they were big, Papi. They were big.
They were big. They were. It's gonna be
that's all you remember.
That's all I remember. It's gonna be at least 3 Reapers starting out from ByuN. I want to see that third Rax. Oh, and there it is. It's 3 Rax Reaper. He's a madman.
Yeah. He is. So this is what we were talking about. In the lead up to this game, for those wondering, ByuN has been doing 2 Rax openers on the low ground every single TVZ recently for the past couple of weeks, and he has different variations, and one of them is the 3 Rax.
But he always plays it on this map.
Yeah.
I know that. I don't. I always get confused when I know some of these things about players. I'm like, surely their opponents know it too.
It's kind of like in ZVP where it's like obviously they're gonna 12 pool on Ancient Cistern. Like why does no one else realize?
Of course,
yeah.
Yeah, he does go for this a lot, and it does make sense despite it being a long map. It is a really, really good map for Reapers just because you have so much real estate in the main. It's such a wide jump and there's so much area to move around in that's not covered by creep.
Oh yeah, you think the main belongs to the Zerg? Nah, mate, it belongs to the Terran, Papi. At least the Reapers, I should say. Is the Reaper count is going to be higher and higher. The first 2 are revealed. The third one is about to show its hand here to Silky, and we are expanding behind this for ByuN.
Yeah, you can see just how good ByuN is with his Reapers. This has been insane so far. Those first 2 Reapers that dipped in, they didn't miss a single shot. That is really hard to do. Every single shot went on a Ling and drone, and there was no delay either. As you're going to be taking out a couple of these extra Lings, putting a good amount of damage on the Queens as well. Ling speed is almost finishing, so he's just coming to the end of his time with this Rusher as that does finish up, but he's actually going to be fighting those Lings. Really well placed grenade. He's getting so much damage with this. This is actually just spiraling out of control.
Yeah, he is abusing this ramp so well. One Queen already went down as well. We have a lot of Lings to react to this though. Do we have enough momentum here for ByuN as he gets almost another Queen?
Yeah, first Reaper is going to be going down here, but the snowball, it is happening. It is real. Even putting a bit of damage on that hatch there, that is money in the bank. And 3cc behind this, he knows that there is no way that Silky can make any kind of counterattack for the next few minutes.
Exactly. There's no bangliness. There's no gas for that either. So even if the Lings clean up all these Reapers and they will not... Oh my god, the Jukes are just too real here. ByuN, he just phases through the Lings.
Oh, he's so good. It's actually disgusting. I don't think there's a player, I don't think there's another player that can do that at the moment. I mean, I don't think Mario can do it. I don't think Oliveira can do it. This is absurd Reaper control.
This is his unit. I mean, mate, he got the Reaper. I know this was before your time. He got the Reaper nerfed once before, and he's going to be looking to do it again. Mate, as the Lings try to go for a wraparound, but once again, the Queens are getting caught off creep. No!
Yes, so much respect from Silky for these Reapers of ByuN. He does find the ramp. He finds this little corner to sit in. Silky, he is just completely stuck. It's just this thing that ByuN does to these players where there's just no good option. They just can't work out how to contend with the micro.
This ramp, it's just all ByuN. It's his real estate right now. He has full control over it. He's been abusing it so well, and Silky just cannot contend. He's going to try and set up a bit of a surround, and here we go. He's going to commit.
Yeah, he is going to commit. He is getting some good connections here, but ByuN has this ramp to fall back to. He's not even going to use it. He is going to be fighting those Lings. Good grenades. A couple of the Reapers going to be going down, but so many Lings get taken out. This has been an absolutely insane game by ByuN. It looks like the Reapers will finally be cornered, if not for some amazing... Oh my
Mate,
God.
They're not going to get cornered. What are you talking about? Every Ling is going to be going down. The Reapers, they survive. Coming out from the Observer as well.
What am I watching? 6 Reapers for 80 Lings.
Hey,
5 Queens and 7 drones.
What are you meant to do, Papi? What can you do? As he wants even more damage, he's gonna get the last queen in the natural.
What am I even seeing right now? These Reapers, they are finally going to be sacked for those last few drones, but this has been absurd by ByuN, and behind it, he's just been macroing up.
There you go, mate. He has been macroing. He has 3 CCs behind it. He's got Stim on the way. He's got Marines already at the wall. We haven't seen any tech from Silky. There is no way for him to really break and punish the natural base. He's going to try. He has to try, but what can he do from here? He's down to almost half the worker count. Oh.
This Reaper's doing almost 6,000 health of damage. Oh my god. That was absolutely ridiculous.
You know, if you ever did watch Naruto, it's you start at the lowest point, you know, the hero's journey, if you will, and Silky has to harness that right now because, mate, he's in a pretty bad place.
I'm sorry, I think ByuN's the main character in this story.
He is Sasuke. Here we go, Papi. The medevacs are out. The drop is going to be zooming across map. Stim is done, by the way, and this double drop may just end things. I'm not too sure how many queens have been rebuilt by Silky, but I don't think his queen count is that high.
Yeah, ByuN is going from one of his trademark builds into the other. It's going to be the double drop next, and this is his other signature build here. This is another thing that kind of made him famous, and I don't know. I think there is this kind of X factor with ByuN where he does just do what he finds fun and he makes it work, and that's what makes him such a good player and such an enjoyable player to watch.
Exactly, and once again, beautiful trades here. ByuN doesn't lose a single Marine, as we do point out, and he's going to be able to just keep on going. Drops in between the cliff here of the third base and the main. Cannot really be engaged by those links whatsoever.
Yeah, combat shows is finished up now, so he can kind of just run in here. Looks like Silky was not ready for this move either, and all the drones going to be going down. He finally does tap out, but that was a spectacular performance by ByuN. Just so much soul in his play.
That was interesting. ByuN, it was almost like he was like trying to keep a poker face, but like his inner self was trying to break free with a smile. Like he was smirking a little bit there, twitching a little bit. He wanted to show some emotion, but GG, ByuN, solid game one. My god.
Yeah, trying not to be smug, but I think he knows what he just did there.
I think it was like he was trying to hold in a laugh, you know? He was he didn't want to be like disrespectful or anything like that. He wanted to just try and maintain his composure, but a little bit of it was slipping out, a little bit.
I feel like it's not even that kind of situation where you can be like, oh man, like he just fell apart. It's more like you just gotta be, he's got to be thinking to himself like, who could do what I just did? Oh god.
Yeah, I mean that was brutal what we saw, and basically what we saw here was ByuN not showing us but also showing WTL, the World Team League organizers, hey, what's with this B that I heard about? What's with this B nonsense, Papi? Give me more, give me some more points.
You got to give him a 10 in micro. Come on.
Yeah, 100%.
He's the micro guy. He like invented half of this micro.
He invented micro, Papi. Before him, Terrans didn't know what the hell they were doing, mate. They just
micro Jackson. He's not defense Jackson.
Oh my, you're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. So yeah, I mean, we've been critical of these point allocations before, especially in strategy as well. Like, well, I remember we were like, strategy is a tricky one because ByuN is very unique with his builds, but he also does them very consistently. So he maybe doesn't have like the widest array of them, but he doesn't need them anyway. Like, yeah.
I feel like he should have a 10 in strategies because, well, I'll come back to it.
Innovator.
In the top left-hand corner here for Shopify Rebellion, this is ByuN.
In the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have representing SSLT, Silky.
Yeah, so I'll finish my thought. I think one of the main reasons that this low ground Rax is good is because it can be so many different things. I mean, it can be a 2-on-1, it can be a fast 3cc, it can be a 3x Reaper, it can be a 2-on-1 with like Banshees or something like that, it can be a Hellbat attack, it can be a 4x all-in on 2 base, it can just be a normal 2 base all-in. there's an insane amount of different things that it can be, and that's what makes it so tricky to play against when you are from the get-go having to deal with 3 Reapers. And I think that he should have a 10 in strategy because he's kind of he's like the pioneer of this strategy.
Yeah. 100%. He is the pioneer. He has been just doing this when no one else has. He deserves at least more than, I think he has a 6 or a 7 right now, which is, again, disgusting. He deserves far more than that. But here we go. Once again, we're kicking things off with the 2 racks. But as you were just mentioning, there is a plethora of different builds he can go into from here.
I'm going to call it. I think he does the 4x on this map.
4x all in? Yeah. It'd be a good one for it. It'd be good. He has done it before. He's more than willing to do it again. Oh boy. To be different. God. It's not going to be a 3x. It's too late for that, Papi. I want to double down on the 4x as well.
Okay.
We're going down together.
With the SEV pull or without?
No, without. I'll say without.
Okay. I'm going to say with.
Okay.
As Silky, he did pick this map, so I think he is going to have something in store here. It's a strong map for going for roach play. We have also been seeing a lot of these Zergs going for rushing out Hive, either for a very fast lurker timing or a very fast broodlord timing. So it is a map that you can play a little bit stylistically.
It really is. I think we've mentioned it before, but Neo Humanity does typically, you do tend to tailor your play here to the map to try to take advantage of some of its features, and we'll see what Silky has in store for us. Before that happens, we do have, of course, the 2 Reapers dancing with the army, and ByuN left his Reapers idle.
Yeah, he loses one. That's actually, it is kind of a tell that he's not playing 3x Reaper. I don't think he ever loses that if he's playing 3x Reaper. Behind this, he is actually going to be going into a 2 armor.
There we go, mate. But is that a bad omen to lose the first Reaper in such a fashion? ByuN's got to be careful here. As once again, we get another surround. The second Reaper goes down, and ByuN! Let's see a bit of a reaction there on the cams.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. That was kind of just the ramp on the map behaving really strangely and sending the Reaper forward further than it probably should have. We did, I don't know, the ramps is sometimes a little bit weird if you come in on them at a strange angle. You can get kind of propelled. It's a bit weird.
You really can, and we do have a reaction. So already these add-ons are being exposed here. This tech lab is going to be going down. On top of that, Silky is going for 2 base layer.
Okay. Yeah, this is a rough position for ByuN.
Oh boy, it really is. Gases are being taken as we speak. ByuN does slip in though with that 1 remaining Reaper, and he gets a scout. He sees the lair timing.
Yeah, fantastic scout there. So he's going to see the lair, and he's going to be able to prepare accordingly. He probably would like to see the gas count as well if he could, just to try to work out, if it's going to be Spire play or maybe fast mutas. But unfortunately, only going to be able to see that 1 extra one.
Yes, we see 3 gases in total. Doesn't see the 4th. Spire does get thrown down, so Silky is going to be going into 2 base muta. A bit of a risky move here, and ByuN can piece together that this is a possibility just because of that scout.
ByuN is making a Raven. This makes no sense at all. It's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, I have to wonder what he may have thought it could be. This could be like, oh, no, I don't know. Because you don't even need... Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's going to clear up all the creep. Listening to Twitch chat.
Love to see it.
Yeah. Oh my god, as we are going to be clearing out these overlords to get a full scout of the main base. So Silky is fully aware of the production capabilities of his opponent, and the Raven is going across map. We're doing a scan of the natural as well.
Yeah, so he's going to be able to spot that. Looks like he should be able to piece together from the extra gases roughly what's going on here, as we do see the Raven going to be dipping in for Taro Harass. This is such a wild thing to go for. I mean, he goes for Ravens against Phoenix, so it's kind of congruent with the rest of his play.
Yeah, here we go. 3 drones going to be going down. The Raven goes into the main, confirms the scout, sees the Spire, sees the research on it as well, so he knows how committed Silky is going to be to those mutas. And now he's fully aware he's already got turrets on the way.
Yeah, turret's going to be on the way. If this Raven somehow gets out of this alive, it's going to be a minor miracle, as we do see mines being started up. We have a pretty good marine count as well, decently fast stim, so ByuN should be in a comfortable enough spot to deal with this. Does actually tip back in to throw down the turret again, so the Raven is going to be taken out, but it kind of did its job. I mean, it scouted really well. It got a few drones too.
Yeah, it did get some drones for its life, so some value was gotten. Meanwhile, the double drop is moving out across the map. When bathing speed is still not quite done. Great target firing here already by ByuN, focusing down one of those Banes.
Yeah, Bane gonna be going down. A few of these Overlords going down as well, getting so much damage with this 2-on-1 setup already. Should be able to get it out of here into the main as well. That's not enough mutas to scare him off.
Yeah, exactly. Only a handful of mutas is not going to be enough. The Marines do drop into the main base. They're going to be able to get some of these things. Can they get the Evo Chamber? No, they will not, but they do get the Queen.
Yeah, they get the Queen and they get out of there, most importantly, as well. The muta's not quite able to catch up with the boost there, so just some spectacular control, and ByuN just extracting every little bit of value out of this draw.
Oh, can he get another cancel onto the fourth base? That's the question. It's getting low, but no, he will not get it in the end. He's going to be forced back into the main base, but the mutas can't quite keep up. The Marines getting more value. Can they get a muta?
Yeah, ByuN just being so annoying with this drop, and he's kept Silky home with those mutas the entire time. Silky would have loved to be across the map, just picking off any exposed depots, maybe picking off a few SEVs here and there, but he's just been completely occupied dealing with that drop.
Yeah, exactly. The power of mutas is map control and harassment as well, and he has done none of it. He's gotten none of it, as ByuN is even going for a mine drop. This is such a risky move to do when mutas are on the field, but I mean, he's aware of where they are. He sees them at his third base, so he knows he's free to get away with that drop.
Yeah, and he's going to be pushing back those mutas as well, so playing really fast here, and this drop is going to be unexpected for sure. He's going to be running in with these mines. Looks like he does have an armory as well, so they are going to be cloak mines, and that's just so annoying. It's just another thing that Silky has to worry about and deal with, and he is not really prepared for it either.
Yeah, exactly. You never expect the mine drop. At the same time, his Ling Bane is hitting the third base of ByuN as we speak. It looks like a couple of SVs went down, but the army is able to respond, and Silky backs off.
Yeah, pretty quick responses coming out there. He will be able to get those SCVs out of there before too much damage can be done. So ByuN averting disaster there.
Yeah, but another shot went off here at the fifth base of Silky. 9 drones going down in total. Eventually, the mines are going to be cleaned up, but oh god, are they going to get another shot off in the natural?
Yeah, that is the question, as ByuN is just continuing to put the pressure on. We do see a hive on the way from Silky, so he is continuing to tech up and getting himself into a better spot in this game. It is a relatively fast hive considering the action that has gone down, but he still is, just struggling to keep ByuN off him. ByuN's just so aggressive, so relentless with these attacks.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's not much creep threat here on the left-hand side for Silky, so he doesn't really have too much control of this area of the map. He's splitting up for a bit of a surround, for a bit of a concave, and here we go. He's pulling the trigger.
Oh. Yeah, he will, and he will be diving on in there. Does take some nasty mine shots.
Yeah, juicy mine shots on the Lings, on the mutas. Meanwhile, at the same time, a force on the right-hand side breaks into the fourth base, takes out the mineral line, and is going to be able to focus down the hatchery.
Yeah, hatchery going to be going down there. ByuN is peeking Silky apart. He is styling on him.
He really is, but a bit of a slip up. Full medevac is going to be going down the left-hand side, so at least Silky does some counter damage. The Ling Bane on the right-hand side of the map is going to be able to catch up and hopefully clean up this drop as well. So Silky is fighting back, but these have been some pretty rough trades overall.
Yeah, absolutely. ByuN just getting himself into a better and better spot. We have Thor's on the way as well. We have that +3. Should have 3-3 coming soon, and that's going to be pretty far ahead of the upgrades of the Zerg.
Yeah, exactly. 2-2 still yet to finish up here for Silky, so he's going to be at that upgrade disadvantage. Meanwhile, when it comes to his tech, he threw down an Ultra Cavern, so it looks like he wants to go Ling Bane into Ultras. This is quite an expensive army composition to go for, but it is what he is headed towards here once he does have his, as he is slowly regaining control of his side of the map.
Yeah, he's just trying to, secure everything, tie everything down, just get ByuN off his back for a moment so he can start setting up his own plays. And that is kind of what's happening. But ByuN, he is working towards a maxed out 3-3 push with these Thors as the kind of linchpins to the push, and already going to be breaking down the rocks to facilitate that.
Yeah, like even though we have the Ultra Cavern, I don't really know if Ultras are going to impact this game too much. We have one on the way, but it's going to be without Kaida's plating, without Ultra Speed as well for the big push as ByuN is making his way through the center of the map.
Yeah, he is. He's going to start trading here. Those Thors putting so much damage down on the meters. There's not really that much meters in the end, so Thor's not necessarily going to be needed like that. But here we go. Big Surround going to be coming in. The mine's going to be going off, actually dragging those Lings in, and quick pickups coming out from ByuN, but honestly, he doesn't have to take the most amazing trades here. He just needs to keep taking trades at all, and he will eventually be able to wear down Silky, as he has been doing a good job of keeping up on the economy thus far. Ultras are on the way. I'm not really sure ByuN necessarily has an answer to this, so this might push him back.
Yeah, we'll see if the Ultras are going to be good enough, because they're going to be 2-2 Ultras. Can they break on through? Can they get on top of this army and help Silky survive into the later stages of this game? He's setting up for a bit of a surround, has a pretty large force on the right-hand side waiting for ByuN to push in.
Yeah, looks like that is maybe going to be set up for a run by, maybe just for a surround. ByuN, he kind of smells the danger. He knows that there's Ultras there. He knows that he is pushing a little bit deep, and there's creep all on this right-hand side. Sees that there's no base on the right-hand side either, so he's not really in a rush.
Yeah, there's no pressure on ByuN to push onto creep right now, especially pre-max out, so he's going to be just backing off for the time being. This is giving Silky time to finish Katniss plating. Now he has Ultra Speed on the way behind this, and that Ultra count is getting quite high.
Yeah, Ultra count getting pretty scary. We haven't really seen ByuN start any ghosts yet. I think it's not too high yet that he can't deal with it with Marauders. We do see him starting up those extra orbitals, so he is aware that he needs to play for a bit more of a late game, but I like the way that he split up his army here, where he has the bulk of the army over to the right, and he just has a Marine drop to the left that's going to be able to threaten taking down bases, taking down drones as well.
Yeah, as one Ultra is going to be going down. Massive mine shots are going to be going off on the Ling run by. Can he get a kill on that CC? No, that is going to be a cancel instead. And as you were saying, the Ghost Academy is on the way. So ByuN, he's fully aware of the army composition of his opponents, will eventually work on Ghosts. But is he going to move out before they hit the field?
Yeah, I mean, there's no big rush. If the Ultras do attack into him, he should be able to kite them back with the Marauders and get some good damage, as we do have Silky kind of splitting up his army here. And there we go. He's going to pull the trigger. He's going to be going for it. A huge army for ByuN and really nice Sim City. I think this should work out pretty nicely for him, but the Ultra to the left going to be cleaning up a lot of Marines.
The SimCity is insane for ByuN, and Silky, he just smashes into a brick wall. He is forced back. He's going to be looking to maybe go for a second wave, but again, overall a better trade for ByuN.
Yeah, Ultra's putting pressure on this left-hand side. They're going to be pushed back by Marines of all things. There is backup coming in the form of those Marauders, and ByuN is going to continue to split up his army on these two different sides, clearing out this creep, starting to put pressure on, make it difficult for Silky to split up his army. This Ultra army, as much as it does fight well when it's split up, it can't really do too much split up. It's more defensive when it's split up like that.
Yeah, it really is. Like, ideally, Silky wants ByuN to push into him, wants him to push onto creep, especially with those infestors on the horizon, but we'll see what these Ultras can get done. As they are looking exposed. One of them is going to be focused down, the other maybe focused as well, as, he barely gets away.
Yeah, one goes down, but at the same time, I'm going to be pulling the trigger on the right-hand side here. Actually making a little bit of progress here, but ByuN going to be dropping down to this PF here to use that for a little bit of a shield here to block up those Ultras. They do get the kill on the PF, but everything's going to be going down. We have the Ghosts as well, so as those Ghosts start to come out, we can punish these overextensions even better.
I am shocked that those SCVs survived. The SCVs at that PF got so low, or some of them got so low, but they all managed to survive in the end. And yeah, ByuN has to be careful because he hasn't been rebuilding his site defense or his Sim City even. He hasn't been rebuilding his bunkers or his depots, so that last push got quite a lot done, and the next one could get even more.
Yeah, these extra CCs are kind of like savings in the bank where, you can dig into that savings fund a few times and you're going to be absolutely fine. But when it does eventually run out, it can go sour very quickly.
Yeah, and here we go. A lot of the army is here in these medevacs, in these drops, and the ultras are diving on once again into this center base.
Oh, all the Banes being spent there on the Thors. The mine's going to be taking out the rest. So ByuN, he is in a bit of a dicey spot. He will be able to drop back, and hopefully he's got some ghosts in those medevacs because he does need to deal with these ultras.
Yeah, the Thors are all gone. The Marauders are stimming on forward here. The ultras are being focused down one after the other. It looks like they will all go down, but Silky got a lot of SCVs.
Yeah, 40 SCVs going to go down, and ByuN, he's not too happy with this. I mean, I'm kind of glad to see ByuN struggling with ultras on this map as well, because I find it really difficult too. And there we go. That's a lot of damage that he's just gotten done there, Silky.
Yeah, I mean, again, the transition into Ghost took quite a while here for ByuN, despite scouting those ultras, so maybe could have tried to have gotten that academy a little bit earlier. Regardless, now things are on fire. ByuN, his economy's in shambles. He's down to 28 SCVs.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, he is looking in a really rough spot.
Yeah, Silky's looking to fight back for his team, just like Cyan did, you know, bearing in mind that we were tied up 1-1 before jumping into this best of 2, and Silky is looking to fight back here to try and put a point on the board in the face of ByuN, and yeah, his economy has been left untouched for quite some time.
Yeah, that it is. The Ultra's going to be charging on in. Oh, all the fresh mules are going to be going down, or not. Okay, they're going to be getting out of there. He is actually going to be going for the bigger prize here, and that is the army. And I don't know if ByuN's going to be able to hold on here. I don't think he can.
Yeah, he goes for the EMP, does connect on the Infestor, but the Fungal still went off anyway. The Bailings are rolling on forward. It does force a hot pickup, but the Natural is compromised. Silky is breaking on in. ByuN may be able to hold on to his third, but the Natural, not so much.
Yeah, not so much, and this is the last of his army. He can't really rebuild it. This is a bit of copium. I think he's just dead.
Yeah, you know what, Silky, he heard the woes of ByuN. ByuN was crying out, saying, mate, give me an A. And Silky's like, nah, mate, get a D. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, is ByuN, he's down to 8 SCVs, mate. 8 SCVs.
Yeah, that's about it. I think that's just about all she wrote.
Oh, well, ByuN, he's going to try and hold on. Apparently, drones are dying somewhere. It looks like maybe a drop towards the bottom center, the left-hand side of the map. There we go. It looks like a Marine drop is getting some drone kills. ByuN is microing his heart out, is trying to come back in this game. I think we know that it is a foregone conclusion, but ByuN, he's on that copium, puppy. Oh.
I mean, he's got ghosts. They use energy. I mean,
yeah,
that's value.
Yeah, he gets an Ultra. Ultra's going to be going down, but we have more where that came from here as the center base once again is going to be compromised. ByuN being forced back. His drop's doing damage. Unfortunately, Silky is lacking some anti-air, so because of that, this drop play and the medevacs have been able to preserve a lot of the army of ByuN.
Yeah, I mean, Terrence, we've all been here. This is when you're losing to a Zerg that, you know, you think should never, ever be able to beat you. You're just like, surely, at least if I'm going to die, I'm going to be able to show him in these last moments that my micro is like way better than him.
He's trying to show off his micro here, and hey, gets another Ultra for his trouble. Strangler third goes down, but wait, are we going to go down to 0 SCVs?
I think so. Yeah, if he can find them.
Let's see if he can. As the Bailings find their connections, this time on the Ghost. ByuN a little bit late with the pickup. GG gets caught in. Oh, the pop-off. Let's go.
Texting his mom, I beat ByuN.
Oh, he took off his headband when he won. It is Naruto.
Man, he looks like he's going to fail.
Believe
it.
Yeah,
drink that water, please.
Yeah. GG, well played. Silky fights back, and this is actually a scary position for Shopify Rebellion here. So Silky fights back for his team. SSLT have been able to tie things up 1-1. The Team GP maneuver actually coming into play here for both of our players, and Lambo versus Firefly isn't as clear-cut on paper as some of these other matches.
Yeah. Gotta let the Discord know about this one.
Let him know the better player won. Let him know, maters. Oh boy, here we go. Set 3 is going to be upon us. Lambo versus Firefly. Firefly, arguably the ace player of SSLT. And Lambo has been struggling a little bit recently against Protoss.
Hey, I'll take your word for it. I haven't really been keeping my finger on the pulse there. I've always thought of Lambo as kind of the ZVP specialist, but maybe he was just the Queen Walk specialist. We'll have to see what happens here. Firefly, definitely a player that could make some big upsets happen.
100% made. Like, Firefly, I think, man, you tell this man to take a game off of Lambo, he can do it. He can. We could even see an ace match from here, but here we go. We're getting into the player stats. Lambo rocking on up. Apparently with a 9 in offense.
It's like, take a game off Mario, no problem. It's like, no, Lambo. It's like, oh, yeah, easy.
Easy, Poppy, easy. Lambo rocking a C, which again, I feel like is maybe not what we should be seeing here. I feel like Lambo at least deserves a B. Shaking my head.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He must have had some bad games in World Team League for them to have him that low.
Yeah, I mean, more often than not, Lambo gets overshadowed on his team. Shopify Rebellion has a pretty deep roster, but he is an amazing player in his own right. He may not be a B, but he's at least a 69. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they're giving him the same score as Scarlett. I feel like he's a little bit stronger than Scarlett, but we'll see how he goes here.
I mean, Scarlett's even said that herself. They've done like some streams together and stuff, and she's even like admitted that Lambo's sometimes a stronger player. But here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scale. So Shopify Rebellion, it is Lambo.
And in the bottom right-hand corner here for Starving Camels, this is Firefly.
Oh boy, and what comes to mind is Lambo's runs in the KFCs, in the Kung Fu Cups. They don't just taste well, but they also don't sit well with Lambo. Not too much.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I do know that Lambo has said a number of times that he really hates weekly tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why or what it is about them, but every time someone comes into his chat and asks him if he's going to play the ESL weekly, he just gets mad. Like, he's like, I can't stand these tournaments. I'm never going to play in them. And yeah. I think I caught a bit of his stream when he did play in the Kung Fu Cup, or was it KSL or Kung Fu Cup?
Kung Fu Cup.
Kung Fu Cup, yeah. I caught the end of his matches and he's just like, this is why I don't play in these weekly cups. I'm never doing this again. And I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. So I think he does have a bit of a mental block in those tournaments, and I expect to see him perform a little bit better in this.
Yeah, so my rationale here for a lot of that is that Lambo in the most recent Kung Fu Cup got 2-0'd by Hearthstone. This was a couple of days ago, and last week he got 2-1'd by Rebellion, the Korean Protoss. Yeah, so has been having a rough time, but I understand the logic here because I feel like you would even maybe agree with that. Lambo, he's so good at preparing for series.
Yeah,
you know?
I was about to say that. He's more of a preparation player, so a weekly tournament doesn't really work out that well. It is the reason that, I mean, if we take, for example, GSL versus GSL Super Tournament, we do see Protosses perform a lot better in non-preparation matches, just because if you don't know a Protoss player's tendencies, they can really catch you off guard, especially in this matchup.
100%. And I imagine that Lambo did put in a lot of preparation for this WTL match. He has been studying Firefly. I am certain of it. It is kind of his... it's kind of what he's known for, really. So we'll see what he has prepared here, whether we do see a variation of a Queen Walk, which we do see from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think of Dark these days when I think of Queen Walks. I feel like he's the one that is really good at just making these timings work with Queens. We see Solo do it a little bit as well. It's something that you can definitely still do it. I mean, there's ways to do it. We had a lot of people going for Dropper Lord timings when the patch first changed, that you could only do the transfuses on creep. I think that kind of makes sense logically, but it's kind of turned out that you don't really need to do that. You can still just kind of walk them across.
Yeah, that's happened quite a number of times, especially on some of those other maps where you just walk queens across the map. They can't transfuse, but they're at a DPS zones away. The oracles specifically that have become, again, so common in the early game meta of PvZ. So we'll see how this does turn out, as Firefly, so for the time being, has opened up in a very standard fashion.
Yeah, pretty standard setup from Firefly. We should see him looking to take a third quite soon. Just gonna be getting his oracles as well, so yeah, nothing too surprising. The observer interested in it a bit.
yeah. Oh, he's making oracle. He's crazy, puppy. He's crazy. As we do see Lambo going for a bit of an earlier Roach Warren. Your standard Roach Warren timing is around 4 minutes, and this was like 20 seconds earlier. Is he just playing safe, or does he have something in store for that? We'll see. We'll see. Maybe again, Lambo just being careful.
Yeah, but we are going to be seeing third oracle coming out, so everything pointing towards a standard game from Firefly, and there we go. That third going to be going down. It's a tiny bit later than I think we normally see, but nothing too crazy. Maybe just being a bit more safe.
Yeah. So both players playing pretty safe so far. We see the two oracles zooming across the map, threatening that third base, but the queens are in position. We have spores in every single mineral line, so Lambo is not going to be cutting corners. Some Zerg players love to maybe avoid the spore in the natural and only get spores on the fringe bases, but no, Lambo is secure, and Firefly confirms that.
Yeah, Lambo had 3 queens at the right base when the spores were almost finished. I don't know if that's knowing Firefly's tendencies or it's just a lucky guess, but that was really nice for him.
Yeah, very nicely done here by Lambo. Only loses 2 drones, which is acceptable damage against these oracles, and from here we see Firefly transitioning into a Twilight Council, into a Forge.
Yeah, okay, so actually going to be prioritizing +1 here, which makes me kind of lean towards maybe a charge Archon timer.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Charge does start up behind this. And also, I made an assumption that he had a Twilight Council, but I don't know if he does. It'd be crazy if he doesn't. But we'll see if an upgrade does start soon here, as Firefly is struggling to deal with these links. Does lose 1 probe to them.
I don't think he does. He has a lot of money in the bank right now. He's actually floating quite a bit.
Did he forget it?
Oh, you know. Blink.
Yeah, he may have just forgotten Blink for a little bit there. So it is going to be a couple of seconds later, like a good 20 seconds later, which could impact his play.
Yeah. He also throws down a 4th right in front of Lambo. That is taunting Lambo. I think against a player like Lambo, this is a pretty wild move. It's kind of just like slapping the bear.
I mean, immediately 26 slings are on the way here for Lambo, so he's going to be looking to deny this 4th base. Can Firefly hold on to it? There is a stasis trap on said 4th. There are some adepts there. The oracles are for the most part being defensive, but we'll see if he can hold on.
He has so few units. He's only got 19 army supply, and a lot of that is oracles.
Yeah, and now we see why. He is taking up immediately into double Robo and that base. So this is very greedy play out of Firefly. He's intentionally skipping warp-ins, and that means that his army is going to be quite vulnerable here for the next couple of moments.
Yeah, I feel like this is a massive this is a massive window for Lambo to attack him.
It is. It's a massive window. The Lings are trying to go for a bit of a counterattack at that natural. They don't find a way in. The oracles do push them back, and Lambo is droning behind this. He's making a couple of roaches, but for the most part droning. So it looks like Firefly may get away with this.
Yeah, okay, but Lambo's still pretty healthy in the supply. Going to be keeping up on the work account as well. He's got his 5th on the way, so nothing too horrible just yet as a result, as we see 8 more gateways finishing up for Firefly. He's really just kind of cutting all these corners, rushing into his production, and he's going to get there. So let's see what he can do with it.
I'll say it. The amount of corners that Firefly has cut is illegal.
Yeah.
It feels pretty illegal because it's not just... We have seen a lot of Protoss players, like Hero does this, where he like rushes his tech. But with a 4th base as well behind it, you know? Like, it's crazy that Firefly was defending with like 4 units and 3 oracles, and that is it. And he's made it. Stasis traps are going to be going up. The SimCity's finishing up at the 4th base. These Lings are struggling to find damage.
Yeah, the Oracle's going to be pushing them away. They can't do much else than just damaging a gateway here. We do have even stopping to fight the rocks just because you got force fielded off here, but the space is looking very complicated to attack into.
Yeah, but we did have a bait out on the shield battery overcharge, so Firefly won't have that for the next push, and Lambo's getting ready. He is maxed out. He's going to be pushing in from multiple angles. I don't know if Firefly can defend.
Yeah, he's going to try to take out these rocks first, and depending on how the stasis traps go here, I think that's going to be whether he has success here or not. They do actually like a little bit of a force field. Those Bailey's getting really stuck there. Looks like the Baileys to the right were dealt with by the Stalkers as well, and Firefly, he holds on very comfortably here, but Lambo didn't lose too much. He can continue to attempt this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a lot of that hold did also come down to the stasis, as you said, but a nice blink here from these Stalkers. They trap in the Ling Bane. Oh, not quite. Some of it does slip away, but for the most part, good cleanup here by Firefly, as he should be looking to replace those stasis traps.
Yeah, now we've got 3 Colossus on a ramp. Lambo's in a really awkward spot. I think he needs to transition out of this.
Yeah. I mean, we have an infestation bit on the way. That's to go into Hive. That's to go into Vipers. A couple of these Queens are being caught out as well. The Vipers are not going to be a part of the first fight because Firefly himself is about to max out.
Yeah, the Queens get blasted just like that, but it is going to be Lambo looking for us around. I mean, Firefly, he is just so on top. I'm not really sure how he's seeing all these rotations, but he is covering his back so well here and not giving Lambo an opportunity to go for the surround.
Exactly. It's going to be so difficult for him to get that surround. Meanwhile, here we go. A massive concave has been set up. He is collapsing on this army, but the stasis traps are going off.
Yeah, stasis traps are going off the Bailings. They're trying to get to the Colossus, but they just can't do it. The stutter step from Firefly is so effective, and all the Bailings are getting taken out. None of the Colossus go down. The Roach Ravager is taken out as well, and we still have so many Stalkers. Firefly taking an incredible fight, and Lambo just wilting.
Firefly laughing in the face of his preparation, mate, because he pushes on forward with all 3 of his Colossi. The base is going to be going down. Lambo's army crumbles. He's looking to remax and rebuild, and I love this. Firefly, he ignores the hatchery. He wants to go for the kill.
Yeah, he really needs to go for it right now, as we do have these Bailings being morphed in. They will be dragged into a stasis trap. Just the one, actually, but forward blinks are going down. He is not messing about. He's taking out all of these Roaches, all these Queens, and GG is called Firefly. Taking the first game.
Oh my god, let's go, Puffy. GG, well played, Firefly. He takes it. A game off of being almost as greedy as you can ever be against a Zerg player. The fourth base timing, the delayed upgrades, the prioritization of the tech and everything else. It was crazy what he got away with. Absolutely insane. Ugh.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Starving Camel is looking poised for a massive upset.
Yeah, exactly. So far, every one of their players has fought against the might of Shopify Rebellion. If Firefly takes the next game, if he 2-0s, SSLT will win the series. If Lambo takes this game, then we are going to the ace match.
Man, that would be nuts, but that last game is going to be pretty tilting for Lambo. He's going to be picking out Neo Humanity. He says, on a map like this, there is no way you are getting away with nonsense like that.
True. Very true. So the play that we saw from Firefly, the faster 4, all the tech that we saw, the double robo into the bay, that should not be possible on Neo Humanity. Firefly is going to have to change things up here in game 2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like Lambo has something prepared for this map for him to have picked it so quickly as well.
Are you feeling a Roach all in? Are you feeling like even a Queen push with it?
Yeah, maybe. It could be. I think it would be a decent map for it, but could also be, the quick Broodlord or something like that. But here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map for the Shopify Rebellion. This is Lambo.
Oh, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have representing the SSLT, the Starving Camels. It is Firefly. Biggest thing, of course, hopefully Lambo is able to stay cool, calm, collected as a cucumber and not let game number 1 affect him too much, because that, as you were saying, I feel like against a lot of people that can be a tilting game, and that would be detrimental. You don't want that to affect game 2.
Yeah, I mean, Okay, here we go. We're going to be starting this one off. Lambo not going to be going for that opening that we saw Scarlett going for. Not going for the Eric opener. I actually think Scarlett might just be doing that as her default opener. I'd have to watch some other games that she's playing in PBZ.
True. I've seen her do it on this map. I think I've seen her do it on Ancient Cistern as well. So yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out on that as well to see what her tendencies are. Meanwhile, Lambo just going for a more standard hatch gas pool.
Yeah, I mean, she must have done it in the second game today as well because she didn't get blocked by the probe that was trying to block.
True. Not wrong, Papi, not wrong. Ooh, as we're going to be calming things down here, and yeah, in game number 2, Firefly, what do you want to be seeing from him here? Do you expect to be seeing some much more standard Stargate play into slow, methodical, get our third, get our fourth, more defensive style, or what are we going to be seeing?
Yeah, I think defensive again. This is a good defensive map. I would be surprised to see him do anything aggressive. I don't think it's a great adept map, just because the defensive rotation's not too long. I'm definitely at least expecting Stargate. Could be something more aggressive off that though. Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was with you, by the way, 100%. I'm like, yeah, this is not a great Glaive Adept map. We don't see it too often for a reason, but nah, Firefly, he wants to work with the kind of reputation that this map has. Maybe use it to his advantage as he goes for Glaives, as Lambo goes for a very aggressive third.
Yeah, it is going to be that forward third. This is something we've seen Cyril do, we've seen Raynor do it as well. It's a really good springboard for any attacks, and you get the rich gas off the top of that. So it's a really fantastic roach base.
Yeah, it's very good for roach all-ins here. We've seen so many Zerg players pull it off. Lambo is going to be one of those as well, or has been one of those as well. But how does this work against Glaive Adepts? Because bouncing between these 3 bases is going to be a little bit awkward here. The gateways are being thrown down 3 to add the 1 that was already done.
Hey, 4K Glaives.
Okay, here we go. And is this going to get scouted? I mean, already Lambo, he has, an overlord over, or at least was over the natural base, was able to confirm at least a stalker coming out. So the likelihood of this being the entire council is relatively high, especially because an oracle hasn't shown up.
Yeah, I just hope that Lambo is going to be flexible here as well. You don't want to be so focused on your own all-in that you aren't thinking about what your opponent is doing. But okay, Firefly actually takes a really fast fourth. This is an interesting way to hide it. I think he misses out on his first full round of Warpins as a result. Yeah, but it could throw off Lambo.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So typically 4-gate Glaive Adept, you are far more aggressive than this, and you're in the face of your opponent. But if I'm not mistaken, there was no Robo with this, right? It was just a Twilight Council into these Glaives. So he's not going to be able to reinforce across the map. He's not going to be as aggressive.
Yeah, he will go across. I guess this is a product of the shorter map. This is very weird, though. I mean, Lambo, he has the Roach Warren. He did get a very early Roach Warren once again, but I don't think he has any clue this is coming. I mean, he's making a lair and he's droning. He just hasn't really worked this out. And there we go. He sees the orange discs. He's going to know now, but does he have the lava for the roaches?
That's the question. Does he have the lava? The Lings are going to be absolutely annihilated here. There are a lot of queens, though. Bear that in mind. They're going to be able to push away these adepts for the time being. Oh, they can fight from over the... Oh, my God.
That's nasty. Oh, it actually kind of seems like Firefly prepared for Lambo.
Oh my God, that was absolutely disgusting. As we do see the main base under threat, more adepts showing up at the linear third base, or the forward third, and oh boy, how many drones are going to go down?
It actually feels like Firefly has a way better grasp on Lambo's tendencies and prepared for him rather than the other way around. He's actually constructed this best of two so well.
He really has, as the adepts are shading in towards that forward base. Drones, falling left and right. Bit of a misrally there on some of those workers, and Lambo, he just can't take advantage of this base at all.
Oh, and Firefly, he's snowballing this.
Yeah.
This could really get out of control. If this base goes down as well, it's gonna be so nasty. Lambo has to defend this. He's throwing in the Lings. The Lings are getting shredded. The Queen's gonna be trying to push this back as the Roaches defend those back bases, but there we go. The Shade is committed to. Are there gonna be enough Roaches to clean this up?
There aren't enough Lings. Yeah,
yeah, you can't stop them from getting to the drones.
You can't stop them, mate. The Lings, they all go down. The Roaches have a hard time keeping up. Now the main base is compromised. 13 drones have fallen, but much more are going to be falling from here. Behind this, we're transitioning. Firefly throwing down more gateways, Blink on the way, and a Forge.
Yeah, the damage has been done. Lambo down to 34 drones here. Absolutely disastrous. Firefly looking like he might do the impossible. Get the 2-0, get the upset, and Starving Camels might be taking the upset win over Shopify Rebellion. This would be probably the first big upset that we have seen in this team league.
100%, mate. 100%. I know that a lot of people, like myself included, predicted 1-1s for some of these matches, but like even a 1-1 with Silky versus ByuN, I don't think anyone predicted that, mate. So SSLT preparing so well for this series, but can we close it out? The Stalkers are rocking up. Blink is done. And is Lambo prepared for this? Because he's desperately re-droning, desperately trying to recover his economy.
Yeah, he's desperately trying to hold on, but this constant aggression from Firefly as well is going to be forcing units out of him, which just makes it even harder to keep in this game. Stalker's trading extremely well. Adept's going to be taking out more drones on top of that. We have a Ford pylon and a Ford gateway. This is really fantastic. I love this transition that he's going for, considering all the damage that he's gotten. Oh, the Stalker micro is just too good. He's just taking 2 good trades. Lambo cannot hold on.
Yeah, it's just a numbers game. Lambo just lost too many workers early on. Was caught unawares. GG gets called, and Firefly takes the 2-0.
Oh, he's gone. He's out of there. It's the Oreo celebration. Get the hell
out. The Oreo celebration. He's gone, Bobby is about to run into the next room, tell his parents about what just happened. He did it, mate. He takes a 2-0, and SSLT take the series 4-2 over Shopify Rebellion.
Wait, straight out the front door. He's running to Melbourne.
Oh my god. Running to Melbourne to meet up with his boy, Buffy. GG, well played. This is a question for Kuro because I didn't get to see the predictions. Did anyone predict Firefly to 2-0?
The answer is no. Literally no one.
No one predicted it. No shot. I think I predicted a 1-1 for Firefly and Lambo, but the 2-0, damn. GG.
GG. And with that, what a spectacular upset. Starving Camels taking the win over Shopify Rebellion. We had the more expected result at the top as well, Starlight taking out Berserker, but man, what a way to start this off. I was really not expecting too much out of these brackets, and Starving Camels really brought it out tonight.
They really did. They really did. Massive shout out to SSLT. They were the underdogs in that series, but they fought back hard and they took it in the end. GG, well played again. Very well done by Firefly to be so very prepared for his opponent. I wonder if he anticipated the Neo Humanity pick, or maybe he just like had certain builds depending on maps, and he kind of prepared for certain ones that he thought would have a high chance of being selected by his opponent. Regardless, very good job at hiding it. He did something. He came in very prepared against Chem as well. Firefly, he's been popping off in WTL.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with his preparation against Lambo. It did feel like he was a step ahead of him. It really feels like he outsmarted him in both of these games.
Oh, yeah. Read Lambo like a book. Congratulations to SSLT, to Firefly, and I hope everyone in the chat, Asher as well, I hope we all enjoyed ourselves here. It was a great day of StarCraft. Great day. Oh.
Yeah, solid day of games, and plenty more to come from this weekend.
Beautiful. Exactly. For those wondering, typically it's 3 days in a row of WTL, and we do have WTL tomorrow, but we're not going to have World Team League on Sunday. I'm not too sure as to why, but Sunday is going to be free, and instead they're going to be moving WTL from Sunday to Monday, so a day later.
Yeah, cool. But still got your usual 3 days of games, so plenty more StarCraft for all you fans in the chat.
There you go, mate. There you go. GG. Well played with that. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. If you want to be tuning into some more Asher action, I know you were teasing the idea of maybe an Asher stream at some point this weekend. Where can they find
it? Not going to be streaming StarCraft. I'm kind of redoing some hotkeys at the moment. Playing around with the hotkey setup, redoing it, learning some new builds. We're rebuilding, so not really at the streaming stage, but maybe I'll stream a little bit of another game, and it'll be at AsherBro, twitch.tv, AsherBro.
There you go. Exclamation mark AsherBro in the chat if you want. Maybe later in the future some StarCraft ladder action, but in the near future some maybe point-and-click adventures instead. And that's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be point-and-click adventures if I'm playing anything.
Yeah. Oh boy. Meanwhile, you can tune into myself, Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I try and stream throughout the week, but we've been busy with casting, so I haven't been streaming as often. Next week, though, should be back to our regular broadcasting schedule. Should be seeing some more Light VIP ladder sessions, and hopefully some Diablo 2.
Yes.
I need to finish it. I'm almost done. I'm on the final act. I need to get it done.
So maybe I'll stream some Diablo.
Oh, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. Oh. Outside of that, if you want to tune into some more cranky duckling action, check us out here on the Cranky Ducklings. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube as well, and we have our Discord server where you can not just interact with us outside of streams, you can also predict on WTL. I don't know if you've noticed, but for every single matchup, we do have predictions show up with kind of the percentages on what people believed would happen, and that is being done through Discord, through a specific WTL channel, so you can get your own predictions in there, and you can be a part of the community prediction. There you go.
Yes. And if you don't know much about StarCraft, you probably do even better, because the results have been crazy lately.
What do you mean, Poppy? They've been
coping.
Predictable, Poppy.
I'm coping. I'm doing so badly.
Yeah, it's because you don't cast enough, Poppy. You don't cast enough.
I
Ay. Oh my god, but regardless, there you go. GG, well played to everyone involved, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for a lot of StarCraft. Actually, in less than 24 hours, we're going to be live with the Korean StarCraft League. KSL is going to be tomorrow afternoon in 12 hours. After that, we're going to have Grand Platypus Open at 6 p.m. around 6 p.m. KST, and after that, we're going to have World Team League. So 3 broadcasts tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Do you want to cast some KSL later on, Papi?
When is it?
It'll be in the afternoon, like 3
maybe.
p.m.-ish. Maybe. Oh, God. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Asher, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
Believe in yourself like fireflies in the night sky. I could really use a wish right now.
Could you believe your eyes? How did we not say that? How did we not say it? What's wrong with us? You've been saying it for like the past month. Oh my god.
Nah, I moved on. It's a firefly in the night sky. Like shooting stars, buddy.
Like shooting stars. I don't know the song. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.